Tonight with a tale of two Trumps with one message. Folks, the substance of the president's address to a joint session of Congress last night wasn't much different than the substance of his address at CPAC last week. But last night's address is being hailed by some as a breakthrough of presidential sobriety and grace, while the CPAC speech was more or less described as a rip-roaring, base-feeding rant. So why the change? Well, there were three differences between those two addresses: tone, tone, and tone. Let's look at them both from a substantive point of view, side by side, because in some cases the language and agenda is virtually identical, but the president's tone is not. So for instance, here's a side-by-side comparison on the issue of immigration between the president's address last night and his address at CPAC last week.
We've defended the borders of other nations while leaving our own borders wide open for anyone to cross. We've defended other nations' borders while leaving ours wide open. Anybody can come in. We will soon begin the construction of a great wall along our southern border. Oh, we're going to build the wall. Don't worry about it. We're building the wall. We're building the wall. In fact, it's going to start soon. We are removing gang members, drug dealers, and criminals that threaten our communities and prey on our very innocent citizens. As we speak today, immigration officers are finding the gang members, the drug dealers, and the criminal aliens and throwing them the hell out of our country.
On matters of national security, similar story. Take a look.
My administration has been working on improved vetting procedures, and we will shortly take new steps to keep our nation safe and to keep those out who will do us harm. In a matter of days, we will be taking brand new action to protect our people and keep America safe. We are also taking strong measures to protect our nation from radical Islamic terrorism. We are going to keep radical Islamic terrorists the hell out of our country.
You can keep going. This subject, health care, same thing.
Remember, when you were told that you could keep your doctor and keep your plan, we now know that all of those promises have been totally broken. Remember the lie 28 times. You can keep your doctor. You can keep your plan. Over and over and over again, you heard it. I am calling on all Democrats and Republicans in Congress to work with us to save Americans from this imploding Obamacare disaster. The single best thing we can do is nothing. The Democrats will come to us and beg for help. They'll beg, and it's their problem.
And here's the side-by-side on the issue of trade.
We've lost more than 1/4 of our manufacturing jobs since NAFTA was approved. Take a look at NAFTA, one of the worst deals ever made by any country having to do with economic development. I believe strongly in free trade, but it also has to be fair trade. It's been a long time since we had fair trade. And if they misbehave, we terminate the deal, and then they'll come back and we'll make a better deal. None of these big quagmire deals that are a disaster.
Folks, in the end, President Trump changed his tone, but not his tune. Can that make his policies less unpopular? Perhaps. But make no mistake, the substance of the president's message remains exactly the same, even though it was packaged slightly differently last night. And can he keep this new tone? We've seen it before during the campaign. Mr. Trump would often turn to these teleprompter addresses, like last night, as a way to reassure anxious Republicans. But the calm never lasted, long before something sparked an airing of grievance or grievances from Mr. Trump.